Today on our show,
The best of 2015.
we're going to go through all the movies that we personally loved right
Yes.
here in the Fat Cave on Fat Man on Batman, which starts now. Welcome to 2016, man.
It's the future.
Happy New Year. Feliz Navidad. Prosperos Años and Felicidad.
Like you said, dude.
Some of that.
You
That's
had-
for our Telemundo watchers, man.
You had good high school Spanish.
Thank you very much. I heard a song or two. Welcome to 2016. As you can tell, we wear the same shit in 2016
Pretty much.
that we wore in the last days of
I
2015.
know, they're lived in.
Yeah, but that's okay. Not every year starts a new adventure, kids. Sometimes the years just run into one another, and
Well,
there's
because
a lot
we're
of
looking-
banal sameness.
We're going to look back on the year that was, and so it made sense to wear the same clothes we were wearing the last year we saw you.
Hire this man to write a Buffy-like TV show, ladies and gentlemen. He's so fucking smart. Fuck Buffy-like. Why am I saying that? People are like, update your reference. Hire this man to write a Daredevil type TV show or a Flash type TV show.
Either one.
You
I'm not
know
going
how
to say that I
write.
have any
You
favorites.
see everything. Okay, so we're gonna go over our favorite movies of 2015. So,
Yes.
disclaimer: that doesn't mean these are the best movies of 2015.
Nope.
This means, at least on my list, I can't speak for Mark, but I'm sure Mark will probably back this up. These are the movies of all the movies I saw in 2015.
Which were a lot.
Well, actually, when I looked at it, not much.
Really?
Like, it's crazy. When I went through the list of like shit that I saw this year, because I entered movies 2015, and on the Wikipedia page they gave me a full list of like all the movies that came out this year. So I went through every month, and like if I saw the movie, I wrote it down. Then I broke that list down into these are my favorites list and stuff. And you know, I didn't see a whole fuck ton.
Well, you were in maker mode.
A little bit of maker mode, but it's, yeah, I'm not going to say like it wasn't a great year for movies, because there was a lot of wonderful movies, but there wasn't a lot calling out to me, I guess is what I'm saying. Maybe I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Old man, but I like the fucking Marvel movies, so it's like, you know.
There's some stuff there in the middle of the year that I know, like early summer, that I missed, that I wanted to see but didn't. Like I really wanted to see Spy and missed it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I like Spy. Spy was not on my top 10 list, but I saw it and enjoyed it. Paul Feig, is that his name?
Feig.
Feig?
I think. Maybe. We'll say it.
Kevin Feige, Paul Feig?
Those two guys.
Good director.
I know.
Knows how to do his fucking comedy chops, man. And she's hysterical.
Oh.
Fucking, I'd watch her tell me I'm untalented, like, and laugh. She's so fucking good. I mean, she's like, don't laugh. I'm being honest. Be like, well,
We'll do another one for you.
can't
Just
help
keep
it. You're
going.
hysterical, Melissa. She's funny, man. I'll fucking. She's great. But that I saw that. It's not on my like top 10 list, but I really enjoyed that movie. I saw that, but not in the theater.
On a plane?
No, like stream on iTunes or something with the wife. So, you know, there's a lot of, like here, when I looked at the list, dude, Ex Machina came out in fucking January.
Yeah.
So since January, and I just finally watched it 2 days ago. Since January, I've been seeing this movie going like, oh my God, I want to see that movie. And I didn't fucking see it until like 2 days ago, and it's been out forever, man. Look at that. This is an incredible flick Alex Garland made, man. It reminded me of, what was that TV show I like? Black Mirror. Did you see Black Mirror, kids? It's some of the best TV on TV. A lot of people in England are like, fucking get with the times.
Come on, dude.
It's happened a long time
Must
ago.
be a live pig.
Yes. Tattoo that on my fucking body or put it on my headstone. Must be live pig.
Tramp stamp.
Yes. Right over my ass crack. Okay, so what we're going to do is look at, of all the movies we did see, movies we liked the most. So that's not fucking going like, if you don't fucking agree with us, you're a dick. Hey, movie watching is very subjective, kids.
Right.
So
You may be a dick, but it's not because you didn't agree with
ain't
us.
going to be because of this, I'll tell you that
There's no
much.
causality there.
You're a dick if you put a fucking string around kittens' necks and push them down the sewers. You're a dick. I read that once in a fucking book, a vocabulary lesson in school. It scared. I was like, this happens? I think it was in an Upton Sinclair or something.
Of course it was.
Where I was like, oh my God, the inhumanity to cats, philanity.
Jungle by Upton Sinclair.
Kind of sad. But in any event, then you're a dick. If you don't agree with our list, or conversely, we don't agree with your list, this was more what I'm getting at, that doesn't make us dicks either.
Again. There's no dicks here.
No, it's just some shit we liked, some shit we saw, some shit we liked, paid for all this shit so we can say what we liked. And we're not going to sit around and be like, this is shit we didn't fucking like. And just because something ain't in the top 10 doesn't mean that we didn't like it.
We did not make a worse list.
No.
Because who needs that?
And I didn't see everything. For example, Hateful Eight is not on this list because I haven't seen it yet. So I can't tell you whether or not. There you go. So
yes.
We're not very good at this.
We'll make a date for the road show.
Yeah, we're going to
You want to come? Come with us to the road show.
I'm just telling you, I'm seeing Ex Machina 2 days ago. It came out in January. Hateful Eight, I'll probably get to around Thanksgiving of next year. No, I'm going to watch that soon.
I'm gonna go
make
to the theater
time
for
for Will you? Because the
70 millimeter
big experience.
Baby. Oh, yeah.
Give him a single and fucking preach.
Oh, just huge, long, wide, strong.
Turn it down, and it's
thick.
like Marc's talking about his dick, just going like,
Ooh,
thick,
so much
long."
girth.
Girth.
Girth
Yeah,
is
man.
only a thing you use to measure dicks by, right? Like that's a word they basically invented just to measure dicks.
Girth?
Girth.
Just
Dicks
sounds-
and pipes.
I guess, right? That would have to be. No,
guess.
nobody says like, oh, what's the girth of that pipe?
Maybe they. I don't know. I don't buy pipes.
Pipe, not as big as my dick, which is the proper use of girth, Bill. Construction site talk by Kevin Smith. You can tell it's a guy who's never been near a construction site in his life. Too scared of nails.
Are they working on the house? I don't know.
I think it's coming along. I see some frames.
The doors still work.
All right, so here we go, kids. This
All
is 2015. We'll start from 10. Did you put yours in order?
I did.
Let's go number for number. So
We're
you'll
gonna
do 10, and then
All right.
I'll do 10.
All right.
Now, we've got a lot of the same movies, but at different positions.
We do.
So, if we've waxed eloquently on number 9 for something that's 9 on my list, that's like 3 on yours, we won't then get to 3 and be like, oh my God.
Here we go again.
Yeah, it'll live, and that's that.
You just back
Totally
up.
go back and what we said seconds ago. But I know we'll get a letter going like, I thought it was really lazy that you guys didn't reiterate your points.
Jesus.
All right, so let's go from let's begin with number 10.
All right. What's your number 10?
My number 10. Listen, you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
All right. My number 10 is Kingsman.
What?
The Secret Service.
Good. That dude. Honestly, I forgot that movie came out. It wasn't even on my.
February. So you'll get to it
forgot
by
that it was on,
January.
but I saw it. I like that movie quite a bit. Fuck, I might have to reconsider. Remind me at the end of this. Let me see if I drop anything off my list.
What do you think?
I hate to say it, this is kind of shitty, but like, I might have to knock the Peanuts movie off my list. And the little boy inside of me just died 1,000 deaths, going like, you used to love us,
So
Kev.
now you start to hear the adult.
I've become that horrible voice. Wah, 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 wah. What's that? You'd rather watch a movie with a lady with fucking knife legs? Wah, 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 wah. I guess that's your prerogative, sir.
She's my little red-haired girl.
Oh my God, I feel so sad. Yeah, I don't know. We'll think about that.
We'll think about it.
But number 10 for you.
Number
is
10,
Kingsman.
yeah. I mean, I didn't expect.
Give him a single. There you go.
I didn't expect much from the Kingsman, despite the fact that I like Matthew Vaughn as a filmmaker. I love Colin Firth. Didn't know that Taron Egerton
Oh my
kid
God, I
at
love
all.
Colin Firth. I love Karen Firth. Colin
She's
Firth's
also
less popular sister.
also
Colin
adorable.
Firth is so Mark Darcy.
Yes.
For all time. And he's such a wonderful actor. And he was really fucking...
He's great because...
He was the fucking thing they sold this movie on. Yes, the knifey feet and the fucking guns and shit, but he was the epitome of cool. Manners maketh the man, and this fucking, almost Steel... Avengers, Jonathan Steele type fucking, attack with a bowler and a fucking umbrella and shit.
Yeah,
like that.
he was very John Steed.
Steed. I said Steele. Confused Danielle Steele, writer of tawdry novels. That's tawdry, kids. All right, so
But
keep
no,
going.
I had so much fun with this movie. Like it has
Sam Jackson?
Sam Jackson doing a lisp as a villain.
And having the time of his life, by
Having
the
a
way.
blast.
One of his better performances of the last 5 years.
I love that he will almost do anything. And he's said this. It's like if you let me do something I've never done before, I will say yes to your movie. He made some weird movie in Finland where they just let him be the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Why? They let him be the president. Okay.
It's a good movie, too.
It's not a bad movie. But he's having a blast. Matthew Vaughn is having a blast making this thing. It's like a James Bond movie that is paced.
There's this wonderful, like, Westboro Baptist churchy kind of
God, so much fun.
kill sequence where it's just like, look, in a world where, you could pull that off, we were talking about last episode, like, hey, man, if they get this right, they could do martial law. Based on Kingsman alone,
Yes.
you could do martial law. Like, the ultraviolence in the movie and how it's played. And also, like, one of the predicating, like, third act fucking like I hope the hero wins is a girl going, if you do it, like we can have anal.
I'll let you put it in the ass.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Princess of Denmark or something like that.
Do you know what really irritated me about that? The fact that someone else did that in a movie before I fucking did, and I should have done that. Yeah, it was a fun flick. A very lad type flick, as they say.
Totally.
But a fun flick.
Super fun. Like, really smart. Really just, it had so much just joy to it in a way you don't see lots of movies of that, like, magnitude.
Mark Millar, correct?
Yes, indeed.
Mark Millar and what's his, Matthew Vaughn make a good pair.
Indeed. They get along well because he did Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass as well. All right, so that was your number 10. My number 10 was The Big Short.
Ooh.
Which I might, I liked it. Well, here, The Big Short gets on my list because I think Adam McKay is a really good filmmaker, and I didn't realize it until I just watched this movie. Like, of course, you always associate him with, like, Will Ferrell movies and stuff like that. And they're funny. I mean, that takes fucking talent to pull that shit off. His movies do very well. But this is kind of like, and not like, he's out from behind fucking Will Ferrell and shit like that. I understand he helped with Ant-Man as well, and it looks like he might be helping with Ant-Man too. But as a filmmaker, dude, I was fucking stunned at how talented the man was. The chops he put on display for a movie that, like, I didn't read the book, but come on, man, math, numbers, finance, like.
Subprime mortgages.
Oh,
how do you make that work?
And fuckers who get rich, like, off of the mistakes of the system. Like, none of that should be interesting to me. It's not in my matrix. But Adam McKay found a way to fucking pull it all together. And when he needed humor, he leaned on it nicely, not overly heavily. Particularly when you had a very complicated concept to explain to the audience, he would be like, here to do that is, and it was like some famous actress or fucking somewhere, Anthony Bourdain or some such shit. Clever, like, just kept you dialed in enough for shit that, like, when I was a kid, there's that moment in Trading Places where you're like, I'm laughing, but I don't know what I'm laughing at. Like, why is orange juice funny?
Yeah,
like,
explain to me how buying orange futures will affect this.
That movie always made me feel dumb as a kid, where I was like, I'm just gonna laugh because it's Eddie Murphy. Ha ha ha! But I didn't know what's going on.
Forbes literally had to do an explainer to explain how the end of that movie works.
It's so good. So
because
I'm not alone.
it's like, what's happening? They're buying low and selling high, and they're buying what?
Yeah.
What?
They won. But how? How did they win? I'm happy they won, but did they win? I don't know.
It is absolutely the manifest of, by that point in the movie, if you're not invested in those two guys, then it doesn't.
Why won't Jan Landis tell me what happened? That's how I felt at the end of that movie.
Right. And then there's the sodomization by a gorilla.
There's that. That makes up for all that bad
Which
math.
is always a good time.
Totally. Like, well, right on. Now we're back on target. Dude's getting fucked by giant gorillas. All right. Big Short, well made, well acted across the boards, man. You got Christian Bale just being as Bailey as possible in terms of, like, he gets lost in the fucking character. Really great performance.
Where's the mortgage?
Yeah. Awesome. He's fucking pretty tremendous in this, man. I gotta give him props. Like, he believes he's this kind of on the spectrum. He even has like a kind of lazy eye. I don't know how they do that in movies. Like, do you think that's an actor thing where you're like, I'm acting with my eye?
I bet you for him it is.
Like, yeah, they're like, we can give you a lens. He's like, what are you, out of your fucking mind? Mate, get out of my way! And he just does this shit.
Hold on, give me like 2 weeks. I'm coming back with a fucking eye. It's gonna be great.
He's pretty fantastic in the movie. Give that dude a nod, man. Like, he's really good. You know who else deserves a nod? Movie's not on my list. Trumbo. Did you see Trumbo?
Not yet.
Good movie, but John Goodman in Trumbo is probably my fucking favorite performance of the year.
Wow, really?
And he has a line about being in the movie business where I like stood up and I fucking applauded in the house. It was so good. But anyway, jumping back. Performances in this movie in Big Short, wonderful. Not just Christian Bale, Ryan Gosling, who always gives, I mean, look, some women like him. It's like, he's adorable. This fucking kid's a genius actor.
Yeah.
He's De Niro fucking genius. Like, you watch him, you're like, Jesus, creepy genius. Steve Carell, who is very character-y and does a good job. And who's the fourth dude? It's another, fucking Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt is so good in this movie, dude. So underplayed. I'm telling you, Adam McKay is fucking, like, I'm not like, he's arrived. Like, he's been here and he's been doing well for many, many years. But I'm like, it's not even like my esteem jumped. I was like, Jesus, this guy's like my better I didn't even realize this guy was fucking my better. My Steam did jump hugely. That it's not like the subject matter, and that's why it's number 10 on my list. So like, Kingsman could knock it off just by virtue of the fact that it's a fun, memorable movie and stuff. I don't remember much about the subject of Big Short. Like I couldn't fucking tell you how it happened and shit. Just like Trading Places, I'm baffled and teary-eyed at the end. But the performances of the filmmaking put it on my list as a movie to be seen and fucking respected and stuff.
Well, all right.
Is definitely worth your time. But it's a fucking math movie, kids. Holy shit. A lot of numbers and shit.
I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to it.
No, if your favorite number is 69, it is not the numbers movie for you. All right, that was my number 10. What's your number 9?
My number 9, documentary.
Ooh.
I've got a documentary on my list.
I've got one on my list too.
Oh, excellent. Netflix's What Happened, Miss Simone.
I didn't see it. How is that?
It's beautiful. It's heartbreaking. It is. I mean, it's the story of Nina Simone, who was a sort of R&B soul singer in the 60s and 70s, who was famously bipolar.
Oh, really?
Yes. So like, she would swing high and swing low. She was abused by her husband. She had alcohol and drug problems, but made the most amazing art. It's one of those stories of like, do you have to be broken to make great things?
Right.
Because this woman was fundamentally shattered by both life and by circumstance and by where she ended up in her life. And one of the voices in this documentary was her daughter, who grew up with this, who grew up with her mother swinging between like suicide and ecstasy, and watching her sort of retell living with that. It's heartbreaking. It's all heartbreaking, but the music is so great.
Oh man, dude,
It's so great. I think Liz Garbus directed
and that's
it.
what you want in a documentary. You know, you want to watch something that takes you deep inside the soul of somebody else or inside the life of somebody else, where you can get emotional because we see ourselves reflected in whatever we're watching and stuff. But then it allows you a get out point as well. That's why I think we dig those depressing documentaries or documentaries about the real. Because a lot of people deal with that. A lot of people like depressing. Dude, it's my fucking life. Like I am like her, blah, blah, blah. Or I have to live with somebody who's like that. But well made, who made it, do you know?
Liz Garbus is the director. And it's also about this woman, this black woman in the 60s who was not conventionally attractive in any way. So you've got like the Supremes in one corner and then Nina Simone over here, and even like Aretha Franklin over there. But trying to build a career when she wanted to write songs about civil rights. She wanted to write songs about what it's like being black and ugly at a time when people are A, trying to say that black is beautiful, but she's not, and B, people are fighting for civil rights. People are dying in the street. And the sort of wars that she had with like record labels and to a certain degree even with her audience of this is my art, and my art has to be who I am. And right now, I'm a black woman in 1965 who cannot go to certain parts of the country. I've got to flee to Paris in the way that artists always have of color for, a century too. I'm going to find myself in Paris. Like jazz became popular in Paris before it became popular here because they were cool. They're libertines. It's all fine. But yeah, dude, it's so deep and it's so heartbreaking about music that I knew but didn't know very much about who was making it.
Well, my number 9 is going to seem real shitty by comparison. I like the Peanuts movie quite a bit, Mark. It's a story of a boy and his dog, and he's an underdog, and his dog is better than him, and he's bald. No, I love it. It's a sentimental favorite for me. I can't be nearly as eloquent about the Peanuts movie as you just were about. Now I want to see that doc in a big bad way, and I got a screener at home, so I'm totally watching it. Is it on Netflix?
It's on the Netflix too.
You can watch it for fucking free for nothing, kids. If you've got Netflix,
Right, if you're
which
already
costs
paying
money.
$12 a month.
Is that what it is now? Fuck. It's worth every penny. Yes. So I love the Peanuts movie by virtue of the fact that, boy, you want to talk about true to the source material. We're all going nuts over Force Awakens because it's Star Wars and because it's very close to the source material. This Peanuts movie, man, it's like Charles Schultz made it. It's so close to the source material. Apparently, he said in his will before he died, he's like, you can't create any new stuff without me. So this was based on like an old idea that he'd had and stuff, but they ain't got any more. So this was it. And boy, for their maybe only at bat, I mean, I guess they can kind of do other like.
They should just remake Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown.
What a great idea. I fucking love that movie. Or better than that, fucking Snoopy Come Home.
Oh God.
Because that's got
All
the
the
fucking
fucking
feels,
tears.
man. Do you remember
don't
little
do that.
sick girls in hospitals?
Oh God damn it.
That movie, there's no way in a world where Marley and Me made money, Snoopy Come Home in this style would make $1 billion. Dogs, dying children. This is the hallmarks of great cinema. Box office. I enjoyed the movie like crazy because I was a big Snoopy fan when I was a kid. Huge Snoopy fan. And they were true to the characters. Ain't no cell phone in this Peanuts movie. Ain't no iPad in this Peanuts movie right now. Where it's like, well, then why would I possibly watch this?
What's the point? Can I watch it on my iPad? No.
And I realize I'm not selling it well by saying that it's cut all ties with the modern world.
They churn butter in this movie.
When your school bell rings, kid, as a mom pulls a cord and the kids all run into one room and watch the Peanuts
There's
movie.
a cotton gin in this movie.
This movie's endorsed by Eli Whitney himself. Cotton gin. Upton Sinclair's The Peanuts. I saw a bald boy, with a dog with a rope around his neck, and he knocked him down the sewer.
The working conditions in this town are miserable.
I saw him turn to his father and say, "Father, why?" And his father said, "Wah, wah, wah, wah." So the Peanuts, kids. That's the movie you got to check out.
Do it.
This is a piece of history. What do you got as number 8?
My number 8 is that Star Wars movie.
Oh, right on, man. Star Wars
Right
Makes Your
on.
List comes in at number 8.
It comes in at number 8.
We put the image up in case people are like, "Hey, what's this Star Wars you guys are talking about?"
I've never seen. No, I mean, listen, and we talked at length about Star Wars more than once.
Oh yeah,
So,
and probably will for the next year.
Yeah, but you know our feels on it. And my vote is simply because of the feels that I have for it, for the charge in my spine.
Yeah.
When,
You're
like,
not sitting there going like, "This guy fucking reinvented cinematic storytelling."
No,
You're
like
saying this guy made a fun fucking movie.
Yeah, and if you choose to find problems with Star Wars, you can. Like, they're there.
Yeah.
But, for my money, and there is no better moment for me this year, no better movie moment when that lightsaber flies through the air.
Into Ray's hand.
Into Ray's hand.
I'll beat you. I got you beat.
You got me beat on
there's
that?
one moment better than that.
You think so?
When Chewie fucking whips out the laser crossbow and spoilers, gut shoots Kylo Ren. I hope when I die, and hopefully I'm still in this business, and they put me up, maybe that's the only time I'll ever get to the Oscars. Like, hey, he finally fucking died. You go stand up and clap and shit. When they show, it's supposed to be like me as Silent Bob or some fucking thing I did in movies. I'm gonna request they don't show that. Just show that scene in The Force Awakens. Just show that moment where he's like, Kevin Smith, and just fucking shoots Kylo, so everybody just associates good feelings of vengeance with me as I pass. Oh, that's my favorite moment in movies. Fuck, I saw it again for the 3rd time the other night, and I yelled out loud in the theater. I was like, "Yes, bitch! Fuck him!" Like, that's what would happen, dude. Like, as a writer, if you always want to, take your material to a place where people like identify with it, you always got to ask yourself the question, what would really happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would really happen? Don't just fucking make up shit like the fucking Russian mobs. What would really happen? That's what would really happen. If fucking if a big space dog's friend got killed and they were friends for like 40 years and shit like that, he would scream and he would try to fucking kill the dude's son, who was the one who tried to kill him. He don't give a fuck. I don't
care.
He's like, "I always hated him." He didn't give a shit that he stabbed Han. He was just like, "I hate this emo piece of shit." Oh, fuck it. Again, spoilers.
But yes, there were enough moments that made me feel like I was 9 years old again. That's why it still makes my list.
Nice. Very nice. Mine also stars Oscar Isaacs and the guy who played General Hux.
Domhnall Gleeson.
Yes, is that his name?
That is his name.
Ex Machina, which I just finally saw. Came out in January. We talked about it before. Man, good fucking flick.
Really smart.
Incredibly well done. Very low budget from what I understand. It's like basically a 2-hander, sometimes a 3-hander. But Oscar Isaacs, dude, is my favorite actor of the year. Like, he's wonderful in The Force Awakens, and he's wonderful in this movie. He's fucking fantastic in Ex Machina. He's the star, and that's saying something because The girl who plays Ava, whose name I don't know.
Alisa Vikander.
Well done. Is like a giant walking, talking special effect because she's the robot lady you see in the posters. Wonderful performance. But I believe that guy exists. Oscar Isaac's scientist character is more real than real.
Right.
And he don't play it like, I'm a scientist. He's fucking dude who happens to be brilliant. He's like Goodwill Hunting.
It's the Jeff Bezos. It's the Elon Musks. It's the
very approachable. It's
I just
so
happen
good.
to be brilliant.
Yes.
And I just love dancing in onesies
And the whole movie, you sit there going like, am I being played? Is he being played? It's about a kid who gets brought up to a billionaire's estate to test an AI robot. And they talk about the Turing test, I guess, which is Alan Turing.
Alan Turing, yeah.
Who was in the movie Cumberbatch movie last year. Without him, we don't win the.
The Imitation Game.
The war is not won. I'm going to say we don't win the war.
Right.
The Brits don't win.
We don't crack the cipher, the Enigma machine.
As we learned from movies,
Indeed.
and maybe a little bit of history, this Alan Turing guy, he was very smart. So there's a Turing test, which I guess that's what you test a computer with to tell if it's artificial intelligence or not, or whatever.
And then comes the Voight-Kampff test.
Later on, where it's just like you see a turtle. What do you do? Turtle?
upside down on the road.
My mother? Turtle? What? Shoot a motherfucker. The moment they start asking me about turtles and mothers, pull my laser crossbow. This kid goes to test this AI, this robot, if you will, and interesting things start happening. There's shades of many pieces of classic sci-fi. It's not an homage movie where it's like, oh, he took that. But, there's elements, great sci-fi.
I mean, once you're dealing with robots,
elements. Yes.
There's enough of like the sort of Isaac Asimov, the 3 laws of robotics and all of that stuff that automatically just sort of...
Or you're going to be like, hey, Blade Runner for a minute, and then be like, oh, no, not Blade Runner. Like, movie's way smarter than that.
Right.
So I put that at number 8. Most people have seen it by now. If you haven't, check it out, man.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 7.
Number 7.
I got me some Steve Jobs.
Right on.
I
so
do.
Represented on your list.
Listen, I am such a in the bag Aaron Sorkin fanboy.
You go with all the shows and whatnot? You like Sports Night?
I like Sports Night. I love The West Wing. The West Wing is my fucking jam.
Really?
I have now seen The West Wing, soup to nuts, beginning to end, 4 times.
And every election, you're just like, why isn't Bartlett president? We need a Bartlett.
The other day on Twitter, I spent a good hour just concocting a West Wing reunion special that'll never happen, but that I want to have
Made you happy, though, didn't it?
Oh, God, dude, you have no idea.
Dream, dude. It can happen. Steve Jobs didn't do that well, so maybe Aaron Sorkin's like, that sounds like a good idea.
What? I need some money, please.
Something fast. What is going to make us some loot fast? Like, West Wing reunion? There's a guy on Twitter who seems to want it.
There's one guy. He's
got quite an outline for it. So I saw Steve Jobs, and I enjoyed it, but it didn't make my top 10 list. It's something of a magic trick of a movie in as much as it's a play.
It absolutely is just a play. Like it's
and I'm not saying that to diminish it. I enjoy it, but it's not.
No, it's not dramatic in the way that we want things to be dramatic. Like,
in a movie.
In a movie.
But if you like dialogue, it's porn.
Oh God, dude, it's beautiful stuff, and it's set around these 3 separate product launches, and so basically it's a chamber drama.
Yeah.
Where it's Steve Jobs and his assorted sort of Apple support staff and his, I guess, ex-girlfriend and his daughter all there before the launch of the original Macintosh, the Next in like 1993, and then the iMac in 1996 or 7 or something like that. But it's all this behind-the-scenes drama of how this guy, why this guy wanted, found himself poised to redefine technology as we know it, and how technology in his head could affect society and make our lives better. But he's a fundamentally broken man. Like there's a line where he just says, "I'm poorly made." And he realizes that. And so it charts both his mania as well as his relationship with his daughter and how getting to admit to parentage, getting to admit to the joys that eventually would come with fatherhood is where he begins to kind of crawl out of the sort of self-involved mania that had defined his life for so long. And it is, Fassbender's great. Kate Winslet, who plays his...
4 amazing performances.
Yeah.
Even fucking Rogen's really great.
Rogen's great in that movie. The guy who plays... I can't even remember his name because he's just so good.
Wozniak.
Rogen plays Wozniak. There's another guy who plays another...
that dude. Yeah, he was really great, too.
He was really good.
They should give him a poster. He was amazing.
And the young woman who played his daughter was BB in Kill Bill.
Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah.
Good poll, dude. I was looking at that movie because I watched it in a theater. I paid to see that in a theater. And then I watched the Oscar screener with my wife. And I remember watching that scene going, she looks familiar. And I went to fall down the rabbit hole of like, who is she on IMDb? And I didn't do it. But now that you say it, instantly I'm like, oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
I saw her, she did an audition tape for Jersey Girl back in the day. As well.
Really?
Her father was quite a shooter too. He shot it. He shot this scene with the kid where she's having like a dialogue scene with Ben Affleck, his character. And like he shot it in such a way where I was like, can he direct this movie? Because he did a really good fucking
She's not
job.
that good yet, but this is really well done.
Yeah, I was like, she's not ready. She's too young, but her father's a hell of a shooter.
Yeah.
Wow, good poll.
But like as a writer and as somebody who kind of loves structure, to watch somebody break so much of those rules of drama, but still make you care, and still, because it's all about the Sorkin words, and it's all about like the speed and the pace, and the weird thing where he'll set up an idea and then diverge from it for a while, and then circle back around and just pin that idea in the ass to him, and I'm gonna start to cry again.
You dig that?
I dig that, man. I am.
Well, look, he's way more successful than I have ever been or will ever be, but he and I get accused of the same thing, which is all of our characters sound exactly like us. That's the thing. I watched Steve Jobs and I was just like, wow, this is like watching not so much Steve Jobs as it is watching Aaron Sorkin. Right. Because every character sounds like Aaron Sorkin, which is fine by me because I like the writing of Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah. I mean, I watched like all of Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, which is a shitty television show.
But you'll dig it.
But, you know, like every now and again, there will be a thing in it where I'm like, God damn it, Aaron Sorkin. I love you. You miserable bastard. I love you to death.
All right, that was your 7?
That was my 7.
My 7 was The Gift.
Tell me about The Gift, Kevin.
Gift is a good movie directed by Joel Edgerton, who's actually in the movie, and I think he wrote it too. So this is, you know who Joel Edgerton is?
I do, yes. Uncle
Uncle Owen from the prequels. That's who Joel Edgerton is. Now he directed a movie better than anything I've fucking made. This is crazy, man.
He's got the edge.
Yeah, he's got the Edgerton, if you will. It's a real like Twilight Zone-y kind of affair in terms of like, you know, what you do comes back to haunt you. That's not really Twilight Zone at all. I'm not nearly as eloquent as Marc. Man, you fucking. Now, I don't even want to finish the show. I just want to go watch that documentary. The Gift is really fucking good, dude. He did a great job writing, great job directing. Jason Bateman, who I fucking ran into at the movie theater yesterday when I went to see Force Awakens, man. I turned around and I saw him, and like I'd seen that dude. He's like my most awkward celebrity sighting in my life, because generally, like you see a lot of famous people in this town, but I'd never like interact with them that much. But I was at a Baja Fresh, and he was at a Baja Fresh eating by himself, and I was like, oh man, like I don't want to be that guy, but like I love him going back to Silver Spoons, bitch. And fucking the show that he had after that, the two of us, whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, right.
And so I was a fan going way back. And then Arrested Development, massive fucking fan of Michael Bluth. So I was like, do I do it? Do I do it? And I was like, fucking all right. And I went over and I was like, hey man, I hate to do it. I give the same fucking line that people give to me, like, hey man, I hate to do this, but like, I'm a huge fan. And he was very sweet. He was like, oh, thanks, man. And I don't know if he was just like, hey, you're that guy. He just kind of looked at me. He was like, thanks. Went back to his meal. Nice fucking dude. Years later, man, like the other night, I went to see The Force Awakens, and I turned around and I saw him again, and I was like, hey, man. I just went, hey. And he looked at me and went, hey. And I don't know, again, if he was just like...
Did lift up from the burrito again?
Yeah, it's just...
Every time you see him, he's
right back in. He's just like, God, it's you. Get away from my burrito. But I don't know if he knows who the fuck I am, other than, oh, that's that guy that says hi to me all the time. And he seems very enthusiastic to see me. I do. I'm so receptive when I see that guy. I'm like, he's talented.
My weirdest celebrity encounter?
Yeah.
I was in an elevator at Comic-Con, I want to say like 3 years ago, with my buddy Adam, who's Jewish. I'm only saying because it's pertinent to the story. Not just a thing.
Well, then, Marc, you might be prejudiced because you think of Billy as your Jewish friend and not just your friend.
And we're in this elevator, and Christoph Waltz gets in the elevator.
Nice.
And my friend literally just like tightened up. He's like, I don't know what happened, dude. Like he was there with his daughter, and they're having like the best time ever. My friend was just like sweating. It's starting to like bead from like, don't mind my friend.
It's not like he asked your friend for like a cup of milk or something like that.
But it was just like, I don't know why, but that guy.
That's hysterical.
Makes me fear for my relatives.
What did I just see him? Oh, I watched Half a Spectre the other day, and he was in some of it that I saw. I didn't get to all the meaty parts. Did you watch all?
I haven't seen any of Spectre.
Yeah, I saw half. And then something happened, so I was like, I'm gonna go do something else, but I got to finish it and stuff. But I like that he's a thing. He's his own cottage industry now.
The Christoph Waltz of it all.
Seems like a good actor. All right, man. Let's get to 5, and then we'll split it up to
Was
another
that 5
show.
or was that?
But that was 7.
That was 7. So we're doing 6.
So now we're on 6. What do you got?
I got Ant-Man.
Do you?
Yes.
Ant-Man's also on. Is it? No, Ant-Man didn't make my list, and I really liked it.
Ah.
All right, go ahead.
I did not expect much from Ant-Man. Every one of these weird like offbeat movies that Marvel puts out, I instinctively like, well, this will be the one that breaks the streak.
Yeah.
This will be the bad idea that they had. Like at first I thought Guardians was that bad idea. I also thought Ant-Man. I was like, who gives a shit? Ant-Man? Really? And then I saw Ant-Man. And I get it. I get it. Like it's a smaller movie than the other Marvel movies are. It's not
but it's Iron Man.
It's Iron Man, but he's not trying to save the world.
Right.
He's just trying to like be a good dad.
Yeah.
You know, and like as a person who tries to be a good dad, like that just hit the sweet spot for me.
Aw, that's
And it's a
sweet.
heist movie, and I love heist movies.
Peyton Reed.
Yeah.
Wonderful job directing the flick. As everyone on the line knows, Edgar Wright at one point was going to be the director. So he had to step into big shoes of a guy that didn't make the movie, but looms large in the film arts. Peyton Reed, I thought, did a wonderful job. Eminently watchable movie.
He really did.
I've seen this movie. I saw it once in the theaters, but I've seen it now 3 times since then on planes and on home video and stuff. It's so watchable. It should have been on my top 10 list.
And fucking Michael Pena gave one of my favorite performances of the
kidding.
year.
Yeah,
Like, that dude was like the MVP of that movie for
You
me.
ain't kidding, dude. He's tied with me for John Goodman for me in terms of best performance of the year.
Because it so easily could have been like a caricature. It so easily could have been some weird insensitive, we're going to do the like high-pitched Latino guy, that weird gangster light, but so much fucking heart and just such a good time.
And just little touches like, I like the Shiraz. Like, shit like that was just fucking phenomenal. I wish that was on my list. I should have put it on my list, man. I have Mad Max Fury Road in that spot.
Ooh,
you got Mad Max on your list, of course.
I do indeed.
Don't tell me where. Mad Max Fury Road, man. Come on, fucking. I don't have to pitch for this fucking movie.
God no.
I gotta find a camera. I don't have to pitch for this movie, kids. George Miller, a 70-year-old man. Go look at your grandpa or your mom and see. My mom's 70. I looked at her the other day. I was like, why didn't you make Mad Max Fury Road, Ma? You're 72. Number one, that's a fucking accomplishment in and of itself. Number two, like, to go back to your fucking source material and like do it even better than you did it when you were a young buck. Incredible, man. This is a wonderful fucking flick. Even if you don't give a fuck about the Mad Max universe, and I'll be honest, I wasn't one of those guys. I'm not a crazy like, fucking Mad Max and Road Warrior. Like, they were fine. I saw them, but not. You've seen my movies. You never hear me like referencing those flicks.
It's not a touchstone for you.
Not a big touchstone. Saw them, appreciate them, but not like that was not my jam and stuff. This movie, absolutely my jam. That's how good this movie is. Makes you don't even give a fuck about the other ones, man. You're like, this is it, man. I'm in. It's crazy good. Excellent filmmaking. It's winding up on a bunch of like, critics groups.
Yeah, like National Board of Review, like best director, best film.
Is kind of nuts and reminds me of like a Blade Runner-y kind of affair, and not the movie itself, but it's a movie that didn't do that well at the box office. It did fine, but it didn't do like killer business. But everybody respects it. Everybody fucking loves it and stuff. Seems to be a new high standard in terms of not just making an action movie, but making a well-made thinking person's action movie.
And it's also just like, it is so unique in so many ways that it feels like there's no way this would have been a Warner Brothers movie. Like, it is so just rambunctiously creative in a way that usually gets the edges sand down in the studio system. What do you want to do? Here's what we're going to do. You guys, I swear, giant fucking car, huge speakers, dude with a guitar, flamethrower, suspended to this thing, hard guitar. We can do this, right?
They're like, is that the main character? He's like, no.
He has no lines.
Just see him for a sec.
But that guy, we've got to figure out how to do this.
That guy's our Boba Fett. The moment we put him in a movie, nobody can give a fuck about anything else. They'll just always talk about flaming guitar guy.
And like in the same way that one of the things that we responded to about Star Wars was they built this shit.
Yeah.
Like they built a Millennium Falcon. They're walking on that sand.
There are dudes on sticks doing 60 through the desert, fucking doing the Cirque du Soleil shit.
Like, it is amazing how much that counts for something.
Yeah.
Like, that guy was there. That guy almost killed himself to do this thing for my enjoyment.
It's crazy. You're right. It makes you appreciate it just a little bit more. Like where you're like, well, I know that's not CG.
Yeah.
So, my God, these
Like,
crazy
these
fuckers
guys went to
did it.
fucking Namibia with 75 cars doing 60 miles an hour, blowing shit up for me.
Give me a single. What the fuck did you do when you went to Namibia? Not what this 7-year-old man did. So I said to my mom too, I was like, you went to Namibia? Why didn't you make Mad Max, Ma? You're 70 and you were in Namibia.
You had a selfie stick. You could have done that.
Wave it like this, balance on it. All right. So that's our 10 through 6.
That's our 10 through 6.
So if they come back to the next episode, give us a 2-shot. Next episode, you come back, we'll do our top 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. But just to recap before we leave, my number 10 was The Big Short. Your number 10 was?
Kingsman.
Watch them both. My number 9 was the Peanuts movie. Yours was?
What Happened, Miss Simone?
Both valid. My number 8 was Ex Machina. Yours?
Star Wars, Force Awakens.
My number 7, I can't even count backwards, was The Gift. What is yours?
Steve Jobs.
My number 6 was Mad Max Fury Road, and yours was?
Ant-Man.
All so far, worthy list. Anybody who's fucking like, fuck you guys, you hadn't seen movies. These were good movies. Man.
Totally.
And we had some classy shit with Marc's documentary. So don't say it's all like Marvel zombies and shit like that. Yes, we are, but we also like classy things.
Classy shit.
And as a preview, I have a documentary in my top 5.
And I'm less classy.
Marc gets real geeky in his top 5. Come back next episode and we'll finish our list. Me and Marc here on Fat Man and Batman talking about our favorite movies of 2015. We're going to use that superlative best. That's how you
No. Favorite.
get crucified online and stuff. Don't
The ones we enjoyed the most.
This is the shit we love. Hopefully you love this too. Don't forget, there's always a podcast to listen to. Go to smodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends. We love doing this, so we're going to keep doing it as long as people are watching it and shit. And we're watching those subscriptions rise. It's magic. What else? Come back next episode. We'll give you the rest of the list.
Bring it.
That's it. It sounds more of a threat than a promise.
YouTube.com/Kevin Smith.
There it is.
Come
For
on
Fat Man
back.
and Batman, I'm Kevin Smith.
Marc Bernard.
We'll see you next time. Same Pat time, same Pat channel. And that is, as Marc said,
YouTube.com/Kevin Smith. Pew, 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 pew.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, click that thing below that says subscribe. Every time you click that, you save a baby kitten from murder.